You're impacting people. And we're not doing it because we're impacting people. I'm telling you that whatever you do impact the people around you. And so that's kind of what we're talking about, gratitude. But I was, let me see, I think it was Friday, Thursday, I can't remember what it was, but I was talking with my sister. And we were talking about faith. And there was something that happened, and we were both, because we're both partners in believing for each other. And we just said, well, you know what, you're just gonna have to just gonna stand in faith and know that it's going to work out. And I can't even remember what exactly we were talking about, but whatever it was, it worked out. And so we were just kind of talking about how faith looks. And she said, you know, I think this is supposed to be your talk this week. And I said, you know, I think you're right. I think, cause it was just so strong in me. And I said, I'm gonna change that. So this wasn't gonna be a talk. This is supposed to be about gratitude, but I'm grateful for faith. So we can make it about gratitude if we want to. But it really is about faith. And I got off the phone with her, and I went and I sat down, and all kinds of ideas, thoughts, not just ideas, but knowing and knowledge came to me, and I wrote it like in 5 minutes. And so I thought, so that was more affirmation that this is what I'm supposed to be talking about. This isn't an indictment. It's like there's somebody in the room that needs to hear this, somebody that's going to be listening needs to hear it. I need to speak it. It's all about me. It's always about me. So I want to speak to you today about faith, walking in faith, because faith is profound. It's insightful. It's about trust and conviction. Faith is just about just knowing that no matter what is going on in your life, you know that God is with you. And no matter how it looks, and no matter what anyone else that you love and trust, even your partners in believing are saying, doesn't matter to you. Because you already know that Spirit's on your side. And it may not work out the way you thought it was going to work out, but I can assure you, it's always going to work out beautifully. It always does. And that is what faith does. Walking in faith. And I remind myself, and I'm just sharing with you how I walk in it. You walk in it the way you walk. Everybody walks differently. Everybody knows Spirit differently. We know the same Spirit, but it's like we're siblings. It's not like we're siblings. We are siblings. We're siblings, and we know the Father. We know Spirit in different ways. My actual father on this planet got along differently with me than he did with my oldest sister, than he did with my baby sister, than he did with my brother. We all had different, all loving relationships, but based on who he was and who we were with him. I was outspoken. My father would say something, and I would say, that sounds stupid. I don't understand that. And he goes, you are such a dumb girl. You just aggravate me. I said, yeah, you aggravate me too, so what am I gonna do? That's how we talked. That's how he was, and I love that he was okay with me talking and being who I was. He was okay with all of us. So is Spirit. You understand? That's my Father on earth, but I'm talking about you just be who you need to be and allow God to be what you need God to be. And you walk in that faith, knowing that Spirit is with you. And so I'm going to share some stories. And one of the stories you already knew, but it's worth repeating because it was just so much me arguing with my dad. So my oldest sister, myself, her son, and his girlfriend, we decided to go to a cruise. And so no matter what the documents said that they sent me, I already knew what I needed. I didn't bother reading that. So I got down there to get on the boat and didn't have what I needed to get on the boat. Because I just thought, hey, the Texas license plate, big old star, that's all you need. That's good enough. Around the world, that's good enough. Well, it wasn't. And so I got there, and they weren't going to let me on. And I just thought, so I started having a story in my head. Okay, well, I'm just going to drive back home, because, you get in Galveston, so I'm just going to drive back up, to Fort Worth and just have a nice week, and no one's going to know I'm home, so that'll be like my vacation. I'll just be there, having a good time. And so I envisioned myself driving back up by myself and having to come back down to pick them back up when they got off the boat. But my sister said, you're not going to be able to go with me? And the disappointment in her face and her voice, and I thought, okay, I'm about to figure out a way to go. So I asked them, what do I need? What's missing? And they said, well, they gave me several things. And the one thing that made sense, that I knew it was possible to get, was my birth certificate. And so I was thinking about, where's my birth certificate? I had a copy, I had something, I thought I had it, but I didn't on my phone. I thought I had it in some file on my phone. I didn't. And then Spirit said, call your sister. And I said, for what? This is me talking to Dad. For what? Why in the world would she have my birth certificate? What does she need? What's she my birth certificate for? She's the baby sister. Why does she have it? He said, do you want to go on this cruise or not? I said, yes. And so he said, well, call your sister. I said, fine. So I called her, I called Essie, many of you know her, and I said, hey, Essie, I know it's a dumb question. I said, but do you have my copy of my birth certificate? She goes, no, I don't have that. I said, oh, okay, fine. So I hung up the phone and I said, well, I tell you, I told you she don't have it. She called me back not 10 seconds later, and she goes, you know what? I do have it. I forgot. Because when we were putting my mom in a home, and we were doing something to the hospital or something, anyway, we needed to prove we were her daughters. And so we needed our birth certificate. So we got that, and then, for whatever reason, my sister kept mine. And it's in a safe with all of her documents. So she got it out, faxed it to me, and I was able to go on the cruise. Exactly. So my point is this. It doesn't look like I had faith because I was arguing, but that's what I do. I have faith and I still argue. My point is, you have the relationship that you need to have. I argue with my father here on earth. I argue. Like, that don't make no sense. What are you talking about? And I talk the same way to Spirit. And then Spirit talks back to me. Girl, do you want to do what it is, whatever it is I'm saying? You want it or not? Then do what I'm telling you. That's how I talk to Spirit. And that works for me. It may not work for you, but whatever works, do that. Develop the relationship in Spirit that you need, and then have faith that Spirit's going to show up. Exactly. And here's the dumb thing. Many things are dumb. But what's really dumb is that I didn't know how to do it, but I'm arguing with God's answer. Call your sister. For what? Why would she have it? Honey, if you knew where to go, you'd have gone there, right? Since you don't know where to go, why don't you just take my suggestion? Fine. So I'm just saying, and for some people, the way that I speak to Spirit and call him George, it feels sacrilegious. Well, then that's not the way for you to talk to Spirit, is it? I remember when I was growing up, and I heard through my fundamental church that you should pray ceaselessly. Well, that made absolutely no sense to me, since the only way we prayed was on our knees. How do you get anything done if you're always on your knees? I'm thinking, so I envision myself crawling around trying to get my job or work. You know what I mean? So very literal. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But I do, because you don't have to be. I'm talking to God, I'm talking to you right now. I'm asking Spirit to give me the words. What is it supposed to tell you? What do you need to know? I'm talking to you and praying at the same time. Okay? I have a tendency to say what's on my mind, at the top of my head, without really reflecting about what I'm saying or who I'm talking to. And that's just the way it is. And it doesn't, everybody's not okay with that. So they won't be in my circle. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for me to be who I am with Spirit, with the people who love me. It's okay for me to be who I am. It's okay for you to be who you are with Spirit. With the people who love you, it's okay to be who you are. If it's not okay to be who you are with the people you're around, perhaps you will think about, why are you around them? It could be a lesson for you to learn, like learn your value. You don't need to be around these people. Or maybe they have something to share. I don't know why. That's up to you to figure out. But my point is this: be who you are. You don't have to be who I say you are. You don't have to be talking to Spirit the way I talk to him, because maybe that bothers you. It's like, I can't possibly talk to God that way. Okay, well then don't. But whatever works. That's what Spirit wants from you. And I suggest that if you're going to walk in faith, because that is the only way to do it. Because I can tell you how many people have heard without request someone else's opinion. Okay? Yeah, 2 hands. All right? So, people are will ready. If you want to ask somebody what you should be doing, they're more than happy to tell you what you should be doing. The point is, they won't be right. They won't be right. Because they don't know you like Spirit knows you, because you are Spirit. You're the highest form of yourself. Right? That's what Spirit is. So you can just ask Spirit however you want. And that's just what I want to share with you. I have another story that I want to share. Just talking about faith is not my own faith, but it is the power of someone else's faith that moves me. And I didn't ask permission to talk about this, but all of us know this story in this room. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. And it is the faith of Liam, Barbara and Bill's grandson. I don't know if you know how many operations and how many things this young man has gone through. How was he, like not 10, 11 at this point now? The strength that he has, and he keeps getting back up. Just this past week, he fell in the hospital because there was water on the floor. Why in the world are you mopping when people are walking anyway? But he did, and he was in such pain. It was awful. But he rises back up to every occasion. And we were at Barbara and Bill's because his kids are in town, and we were just there with them. And have you guys seen those little? I call them Muppets. That's not what they are. Gnomes. No. What are they called? Gnomes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, right. Little gnomes that Bart sews. She got not sews, knits. They're beautiful. Okay. And she, go there. She'll bring some to the church and understand. Anyway, she knits them, and because Liam has this, what's it called? Liam's some kind of fundraiser. What's it called?
Big Heart Fund.
Big Heart Fund. Liam's Big Heart Fund. Because I don't know if you've been keeping up with the story, but anytime someone does something for Liam, gives him money to take, he looks around to see who he can give it to, what other kid is suffering. So he has Liam's Big Heart Fund that his school and him and everyone that he knows is donating to him, so he can then donate to other kids who are suffering. And they what was it he said they have? There's something that they like to play with. And
Legos.
Okay. And so, see, everybody knows the story. And so he's buying those for other kids. This is a boy whose faith is unbelievable to me, because he knows he's gonna get better. He keeps talking as he goes through about how he doesn't even focus on what's happening to him ever. He's always focusing on how can he help the other kids, because he doesn't want to see any other kid in pain. And that's what he does. And so his faith walk encourages me. How can I have the nerve to talk about, I don't have the groceries that I want, or I can't buy the this that I want, when he is doing all of this big-hearted stuff, and while he's doing it, thinking of other people. How can he help? So I just wanted to talk about, it's not just your faith, and it is about your faith, but other people are watching. And it's not because you're doing something because other people are watching, but if you say you're a person of faith, but then you don't stand in your faith, that doesn't encourage other people. Liam doesn't even say that he's a person of faith. He simply stands in it. And you can see, and you are encouraged by his faith walk. So I want to be encouraged by other people's faith walk as I'm going through whatever it is I'm going through. We have people in the congregation who are walking through difficult times. And our faith can help them stand in theirs. Okay? So that's what it is. So faith is a big concept. But we know how to do it. And I encourage you not only to do it for yourself, but to do it for the world. Because the world needs to hear people of faith actually standing up in faith and showing them what it looks like. And still coming out knowing that God is here no matter what it seems to look like. The truth is, God is here. We are learning, we are growing, we are loving one another. And that is the power of our faith. So I encourage you to continue to walk in your faith, to take your faith walk on a regular basis. You don't have to talk about it. because we can see it. We can see it. And it is for you as well as for others. I believe that our life, the things that we're here to do, the gifts that we're given, they're for us, but they're also for others. So stand in your faith, and stand in your gift, and be here for God. Be a child of God. Faith is profound trust and conviction in a higher good, in a universal order that transcends empirical evidence and rational understanding. We don't have to think about it. Like, one of the questions you want to ask is, how's that going to happen? Not your business, girlfriend. I mean, if you knew how it was going to happen, you'd already be doing it, right? So stop asking that dumb question. And just tell Spirit what you want. And when it shows up, when Spirit tells you something and guides you, it's a leap of faith. It's actually not, but it's not a leap of faith. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. It is faith to do what the Spirit's telling you to do. Call your sister. Yes, I can argue about it, but in the end, I'm going to do it. Because I do have faith. I'm arguing because I don't understand. But I understand that I'm not supposed to understand. Just do it, and it shows up. So I'm just trying to talk to you about how it works. If we stand in our faith, something greater than ourselves happens. It just does. You guys know it. You've already been done there. I'm grateful for who I am and for who I am becoming. That's what I say whenever I'm walking through something. I'm grateful for that. Every time I take a step of faith, it makes me stronger. Not in my faith is already strong, but in stepping it out in it and trusting that I'm hearing from Spirit. That's part of our relationship with Spirit. We don't know if we're hearing because we don't have a relationship with Him, an active relationship. So we just confirm and remember every single day, every morning. When you wake up, just say, hey, Spirit, thanks for waking me up. We're walking through this together. And that just reminds you that you are a child of God and God is with you. That's all that does. But it's a big deal. It's a big thing to just remember every day. So 3 action steps. Stand in faith and know that God is for you. Just stand in your faith and know God is for you. Ask God for strength, not relief. Just strength. Because what's yours to do, there's a lesson there. There's something for you to do and be and show up as. So we don't have to ask Spirit to take this from us. Jesus did that. And God said, I can help you. This is yours to do. This is yours to do. Not relief, just strength. Okay? That's what we're asking for. And go where God leads. Just go where God leads. Even if you don't understand where you're going or why He's heading you in that direction, because there's something further down the road that God does see that you can't. So just go ahead and do that. It's profound. Faith embodies a deep inner assurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't look like it. That's to me, that's what faith is. That's what has me continue to going. You don't understand it, but you don't need to, because God does. God's got your back. God's got this. I need to write a song about that. God's got this. Maybe there is one already. Probably, yeah, God's got it. I am here at Harmony Spiritual Center every Sunday that I'm not off. And even when I'm off, I come. Because I have no place else to be. This is the place for me to be. To learn from you, to remember, to be reassured, to be around my partners in believing, to see the smiling faces of people who know what I know and who are walking in faith. So thank you for being here every Sunday, for being my partners in believing. Thank you so much. And I will always show up here. If I'm on this earth, I'll be here. Unless God says something different. We'll see. Final quote. Just take the first step in faith. Just take the first step. Pick up the phone and call your sister. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just got to climb up the first step that's in front of you. That's all. That was from Martin Luther King Jr. And my final thought is that faith is a choice. I'm just telling you the power of having it. It's your choice to have it or not. It's your choice to understand or to know God and to ask God for help with your faith if you need that. That's your choice. But I choose faith because I want peace and joy in my life. And it's the only way I get it, is knowing that Spirit's got my back. So, concerning myself and what others do, not mine. I only concern myself with what I do and share with you what I know to be true for me. I believe it'll be true for you. And so it is.